Well, as we've been reporting, Russia is retaliating against Canada after sanctions were imposed on some of the country's top officials last week. So now 13 Canadians are barred from entering Russia, and this list includes some of Stephen Harper's aides, the head of the Ukrainian-Canadian Congress, as well as members of Parliament. Joining us in Ottawa, we have Ted Opitz. He's a member of Parliament for Etobicoke Centre. He was in Kiev recently. And Mr. Opitz, you're part of this sanctions list?
Yes, I am.
How did you find out you're on this list?
Well, I found out this morning as I was driving into the city from the airport.
Are you surprised, or were you anticipating something of this nature?
No, I wasn't anticipating it, but it's something that tells me that Canada has been an exceptionally effective voice in the world. Our Prime Minister has been very, very strong on this. You heard him at the press conference in Kiev on the weekend. He has been very clear about how Canada stands with the people of Ukraine and supports the legitimate government of Ukraine. And we have condemned unequivocally the Russian Federation's and Mr. Putin's invasion of Crimea, an illegal invasion, an illegal referendum. He just continues to violate international law and flout good order in the world, and in fact has destabilized, I think, or not destabilized, but anyway, he has caused concern amongst European nations about security in Europe, and this is something that is very grave, and is probably the worst has been since the Cold War.
Right, so if Canada's been and continues to be such a major player on getting Russia to back down what some would deem to be aggression, do you wear this as a bit of a badge of honor? I ask because Erwin Kotler, who we also showed is on this sanctions list by Russia, he says that's how he sees this. It's a badge of honor. Well,
I'll tell you, I am... yes, I'm somewhat delighted by it because it shows how strong we've been, what kind of a voice that Canada has, led by our Prime Minister, led by Minister Baird, and the rest of our government, has been in the world for combating this illegal action by Russia. In fact, the Prime Minister, as you know, is at the G7, and he continues to work with G7 colleagues. They've had a very strong statement today. We continue to work with that, and the Prime Minister is continuing to urge European nations to, along with Canada, continue the strong actions that we've been taking, because clearly they work. It's gotten the attention of the Kremlin. It's gotten the attention of President Putin. And I heard you earlier, Jacqueline, talk about those that had lived through the dark years of the Soviet years. And both our parents, I think, are Polish war veterans and understand what that meant back in those days from '39 on.
Yeah, that's very true. If you grow up with those stories, you never forget them, right? Fair to say. But let me ask you about this.
Absolutely not.
You touched on the Prime Minister overseas, and if I can ask you about, what more can be done here to contain Russia, because there is very much a fear that, the ambitions could be larger beyond Ukraine.
Well, only Mr. Putin can tell us that at the end of the day. But I believe that what we're doing right now are the right measures, the right steps. We need to continue to take stronger measures and stronger steps to ensure that we continue to isolate Russia, that we continue to use all diplomatic, economic, and political levers to keep Mr. Putin isolated. And this is, I think, having a tremendous effect on Russia right now. Of course, one of our sanctions has been on Bank Russia, and from what I understand as well, and I read over the weekend, that Visa and MasterCard have also withdrawn services from Bank Russia. And if you're a major bank like that, that must be a tremendous blow to your ability to do business around the world.
All right. Well, we will continue to watch. Ted Opitz joining us. Thanks for this.
Thank you.